Hello and welcome back to my channel. I'm Allison Co and today I'm going to be chatting about the spring-summer 2019 trends and how you can incorporate them into your wardrobe. So the beauty of trends is that you can just pick and choose what you want to use, what works with your style and what doesn't, and anything you don't like then you just ignore and something will come along that you like at some point. So this season there's been loads of different things that I've really loved and loads of ways that I thought you can incorporate them into your wardrobe if you sew, or also if you don't sew, then this video would also be kind of relevant. So I have them all written down in my little book. I actually have 4 pages, however that is because my writing is enormous. It's not because there's actually loads of trends. I'm just going to cover 4 in this video. So there are 2 fabric kind of trends and 2 styling trends that I'm going to be covering today in this video. Also, if you're wondering what this really sexy top knot is doing, a little bit departure from my normal style, it's because I couldn't find my hairbrush, and this is real life. So that's what you're getting today. So the first trend I'm going to be looking at is orange. Now orange, as we all know, the Pantone colour of the year is living coral, and some people really like that. I personally can't stand pastels. They look really crap on me. They just wash me out, and I much prefer to wear something really bright like this jumper, which by the way is the We Are Knitters Fortessa sweater, and it is my favourite thing I've ever knitted, and actually my first garment I've ever knitted as well. So I shall cover this more in when I do a roundup of my makes. So if you're like me and you don't really like pastels, then orange being in fashion might actually be something you're really quite into. So there's a few different fabrics that I've got. I went through a load of websites and wrote down all the fabrics that I thought would really work and that would work for different styles as well. So there's different varying themes on orange, because I know that not everyone would like to go out dressed like a highlighter. So the first one is for if you're not really into orange but you kind of want a little bit of a way in, and that is a blush pleated satin from Like So Amazing. I think this would look really gorgeous as a pair of either culottes, so maybe the Winslow culottes. They're nice and breezy and bloomy, and why will this not focus and stay focused? Sorry if you're wearing headphones. So I think the Winslow culottes would look really cute in this, but if you want something that's really simple, then a pleated midi skirt would be really nice as well. I made one of these last Christmas, I think it was, and it's so simple. So you got your meter like this, then you cut it in half along here, sew the 2 together, sew them round so you've got a tube, and then make a channel up here and put a piece of elastic around it and hem it. It is the simplest skirt you could possibly make, and it also looks really cool. The second fabric is this full suede rust from Stop and Still. This fabric is a really nice suede. It's really soft. It's really quite lightweight. If you can see, it is like super drapey. So this fabric is a lot lighter than I thought it was going to be. It's definitely dressmaking weight. I probably wouldn't even bother with haberdashery kind of, not haberdashery, what's the word? Homeware kind of thing. I think this would look really sweet as a little mini skirt, maybe the Tully and the Butter's Nest skirt. And it's actually also drapey enough for you to do something that requires a little bit more drape. So maybe the Vogue 90253. I'll put the name here because I actually can never remember the numbers. The next fabric is this full sunrise knit from Satisfaction. I've already made this into something. It's got loads and loads of different colours through it, and it has pretty much every single colour that I like in it. So I really like that. I'm making that into a midi dress, which you will see on the Satisfaction blog, as I'm part of their so their blogger network. So that will be going up. Actually, by the time this video, no, it'll be going up this week because this video is hopefully going up today. So I better not waffle so that I don't have too much editing to do. So the next fabric trend is print clashing. Now, if you've been watching the Great British Sewing Bee, which you probably are if you're watching this video, then you'll have seen Juliet's jumpsuit on the first episode, which was gorgeous, and she did a really cool print clashing look. Now this is something that I've seen on the catwalks loads, but it may be something that you might be a little bit nervous to do at first, but I've got a few tips for you to take on board if you would like to, and have a go at a bit of print clashing on your own. My tips would be to stick to the same type of fabric, so you don't want to be pairing like a cotton poplin with a viscose fabric because they'd have completely different drapes and it would look a bit weird and you might hang wrong. And look for something to tie it together. So that might be a colour in it, it might be the shape of a pattern in it, and which is a bit of a weird concept, but it might have, like, say, curves in it. Both types of patterns have curves in it, and that would help to tie them together a little bit. The first option I've got is the Isabella Mustard Viscose from Sew Me Sunshine, which is a white and mustard floral pattern. I think this would look really, really nice with the black and white viscose wishbone fabric from Like So Amazing. I think this would really work because, like I just said about the pattern in it, the curve of the flowers is really nicely emulated in the curve of the wishbone. Another option, also from Sew Me Sunshine, because she has amazing fabrics in at the moment, is the Sophie Red Crepe, which is a dotty and floral fabric in red, black and white. I think this would look really, really gorgeous with Ayla? I don't really know how you pronounce it. Beck fabric. Aisla Beck. Let's go for that. Now this is a little bit more out there because this is green, black and red, which you wouldn't really always put like a green fabric with a red fabric. I think because both of them have black in it and both of them do have red in it, then it will really work together and it will look really like you planned it to look clashing. And that's actually great about making your own clothes, because if you're putting two fabrics together in your own clothes, it does look like you planned it to be clashing. No matter how weird you think it looks, everyone else is going to think, oh, that's really cool. Like, a designer obviously thought that they'd go together, so they obviously do go together. Some pattern suggestions for these fabrics would be the... oh, why have I chosen things with really difficult names to pronounce? The A Lackey jumpsuit by Named Clothing. So I think this would look really sweet if you did the waistband as one fabric with half of the front and half of the back satin fabric, and then the other fabric, if you used it for the trousers, and then you did the other half of the front with one of the fabrics and the other half of the back with that second fabric as well. The second one is the Jupe la Bohème, which I think means Bohemian skirt by my GCSE French, I think. Actually, I don't know what I'm saying, I didn't even do GCSE French, so if that is correct I'm going to be very impressed with myself. So that's by Vanessa Posey. I don't actually know if her patterns come in English as well as French. If you do know, let me know, because I do really, really love some of her stuff, but that is the kind of thing that puts me off, because I'm like, I can't translate French. But if the instructions have really good pictures, then maybe it would be an option. So this is a wrap skirt with a massive ruffle around the whole thing, and it looks gorgeous. So I think it would look really, really sweet if you did the ruffle as the contrast fabric. I think that would look amazing. And then the third option is to do a two-piece. So if you were to do the Seren by Tilly and the Buttons with one fabric at the top and one fabric at the bottom, if the idea of print clashing is a little bit scary to you, but you could also do the main fabric of, so like the two panels of the main skirt as one fabric, with the waistband being the clashing fabric, and then of the top do the main panels as that clashing fabric that you did the waistband in, and then do the straps as the fabric that you used for the rest of the main skirt. So that's all the fabric suggestions done, and now the clothing trends that I've been loving are boiler suits. I do not own a boiler suit yet because every one I order from the high street just doesn't fit. Like, I ordered that and the Stories one that was all over Hannah Gale's Instagram, who if you don't follow you totally should because she's hilarious, and it's just been everywhere on loads of bloggers, and it is gorgeous, and the fabric was such nice quality, and it was in the sale for £30, and I ordered it, and the waistband was about at my crotch level. Like, nobody's that tall. When I hoiked it up, so the waistband was actually at my waist and the trousers actually fitted, so that made it even more annoying because it's like you just made the top half really long and then the trousers fit. So what, am I supposed to have my crotch around my knees? Is that a thing? Is that a look? Because it's not a look I'm cool with. I've decided I should probably just make myself one, and there are a couple that I've whittled it down to. The first one is the Mimi G Style S8060. So this has a button front, a collar, front pockets, it's quite tapered, it has a drawstring waist and it has side pockets, and it comes in two lengths. So there's a long length and then there's a shorts length, which I haven't seen anyone make it in that length. I kind of am not really into that kind of length. I think jumpsuits, not jumpsuits, boiler suits definitely look better in a long length, but willing to be proven wrong if you have made it, but it's not a look I'm going to be going for. And the other option is the, oh, there's also a sew along for the Mimi G one as well if you do get stuck. The Allison Co is my other option, which is their Intrepid boiler suit. Now this is quite different. It has a zip up the top front. It does still have chest pockets. It has front and back pockets, which I really like. And it has a collar and it does have a slightly tapered little leg. This one is designed to be slightly looser fitting, which I actually quite like that almost grungy feel when you do it in a really feminine colour. So I actually might make it in a, I know I said that I don't like pastels at the beginning of the video, but I might make it in a pale pink. And then the last one I'm going to cover is suits. Now suits have been everywhere for about the last year, but it seems to be that now then the sewing patterns, they can sometimes be a little bit slower than like catwalk fashion, because obviously it takes so much time to come up with a pattern, and it's quite often something that you want to see if it's going to be a long-lasting trend rather than just diving in there, because pattern companies are often quite small, like, and they've only got a few people to do all the work, so there's no point bringing something out that people will be bored with in a few months. But now I do think there's some really, really nice ones out there. So for suits I've got two options. There are loads out there, but these are my two favourites. So the first one is the Ava Taylor blazer and the Teeny cigarette trousers by Named Clothing. Why can't I pronounce anything? I think these are really, really nice pairing together. The blazer is double-breasted. It's loose, but it's not oversized, and it comes to the top of the thigh. It has really interesting seam lines. The seam lines kind of go down the bodice and there's loads of different pieces, so I actually think this one might be a little bit more challenging to make than some of the other suit patterns out there, but it's really, really interesting to look at, and it would definitely be a project that you'd feel really proud of yourself for finishing. Oh, and it has pockets, which you always want. Who wants a blazer with no pockets? And then the Teeny cigarette trousers, they have a fly front, they are fairly tapered, a kind of tailored fit, they're ankle length, they also have pockets and they're high-waisted, so I think they would look really, really flattering, and I think high-waisted with that longer length of blazer looks really nice, because you don't really want something low-waisted because then they kind of just merge into one. I think it's definitely more flattering with a high waist. The other option is a new one, which I was very excited when it was launch the Closet Case Patterns Jasiki blazer. This one is single breasted, it's got pockets with a flap, and it has little buttons down the side and a little optional top, I'm just looking at it on my phone, a little optional top pocket. This is probably the one I would sway towards making more because it is that little bit more fitted, which is a bit more my style, but I love both of them. They've actually started with jeans quite a lot, which I really like the look of. I really like the juxtaposition between maybe having like a really posh velvet blazer and then some ripped skinny jeans. Not that I wear skinny jeans, so they would realistically be ripped mom jeans. They'd also, if you weren't really into making jeans, if you wanted straight leg jeans, you can maybe make the Dawn jeans. But if you weren't really into making jeans, then, oh, I'm sorry, like the sun's just gone in, so the exposure has just gone crazy. Then I think they'd look really nice with a sew over ultimate trousers as well. So that is it. I'm gonna now hurriedly edit this and get it up. If you're wondering why I am filming it on the same day as I am uploading it, it is because I filmed the entire video and then went to edit it and I realised I had lipstick all over my teeth and I looked like I had just been like gone and joined the Cullen clan. So yeah, it wasn't a good look, and I know that if I had uploaded it I'd have just been so irritated by it and I'd have ended up taking it down at some point. So I just thought I'm just going to upload it again. Okay, so if you are here and you did like this video, I would absolutely love it if you would subscribe. I upload mainly on Sundays, however life does kind of get in the way sometimes, and sometimes it might be on a Monday or a Tuesday, but I will always have a video a week, hopefully. Not promising, because this is just my hobby, not my job. But thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.